Hello friends. In the previous episode I told you all about this stereo receiver that I got for free at an estate sale as it was closing. Did a little rehab on that, checked it out and found out it worked fine. But it isn't much good without speakers. And this time I went to one of my favorite thrift stores where I knew they had a lot of speakers, and I picked up some. They had lots of different choices available at different price ranges. This was at the smallest price range of $5 per speaker. Got another one to match this one. And I'll tell you why I picked this one up. The compactness is good. $5 is good. If this is a high quality speaker, it's worth more than $5. I've looked it up on eBay. It's not worth a whole lot more than that on an eBay price. But there's some reasons to think that there's good and bad going on here. The bad part is plastic construction is always kind of a tell for cheap speakers. My guess is that this was part of a 5-way home theater system at one time, although I haven't confirmed that. This is Aiwa, which is kind of a good mid-range brand, I think. Let's take off this cover, which pops off on a lot of speakers. You can see this is a true 3-way speaker, meaning it has 3 elements: a bass element, mid-range, and tweeter. These are vent holes, which are consistent with what's called a bass reflex design. And we turn this around on the back. This is not a powered speaker. It's got 2 speaker wires. For reference, here's our model number, SXNA702. This says 100 watts. It's 6 ohms, which I didn't notice at the time, but that's close enough to the standard 8 ohms that I think it'd be fine for my purposes. Another thing is, physically, compared to some of the others that were roughly similar to this, these were heavy, and that goes with, you can see here, the detail of the particle board. So even though particle board is a cheap material, it's actually a good choice for speaker designs because it's very dense and hard compared to, you know, you'd need to get some really expensive, high quality hardwood of some kind in order to get the same sort of physical properties that cheap particle board offers. So particle board isn't much to look at. It's always painted or has a decal or something on it, but it's actually not a bad choice for this type of speaker. So we're going to hook this speaker up as well as its companion that's exactly the same. We're going to find out if those work well with this system and get me to what would be a fairly nice sort of mid-range system for the total price of $10. 5 for this, 5 for its friend, and this one free. So I'm kind of envisioning this as my secondary setup, and either to go with a television to make that's better than the television sound, or maybe out in the garage or something like that. I've already got a what you might call premium setup that I'm happy with, so this isn't going to replace it, but it might be good in a secondary spot. So here's the speaker hookup. I went into more detail on how to do that in the other video, but basically you want to have the speakers phase matched to get a good stereo effect. In this case they've got wire coloring to help me do that, so I put the black wire from one speaker onto the black wire onto the other speaker on black, and then this kind of white and black stripe for each goes on the red. So since these speakers have kind of color-coded wires, I can know that they're hooked up in their proper phase with this method. You ready to give it a try? I thought so. Turn it on, go to CD mode. So here is a familiar classical piece, Eine kleine Nachtmusik by Mozart. So let's try it with another track. This one's called Clash of Gods. So to my ears this sounds pretty good. It's kind of electronic music, so it's a little hard to tell how, clear or good it is particularly. So here's another one. This is more of a guitar piece. These kind of listening tests are always kind of unsatisfying on YouTube for people watching, or at least that's my experience. What I'm hearing here is getting nice bass, but it's not the kind of heart-pounding, chest-thumping type bass you might get. So I think this setup needs a subwoofer. That might be an opportunity for me to hook up this Bose Cinemate subwoofer that I took apart in a previous video. It needs a little bit of repair before it can be used, but I don't need a special amplifier for that because this is a 5-channel receiver here. So I think I'm happy here overall. I think I got my $10 worth for sure. These speakers are meeting the need of being relatively small and compact, inexpensive, and sounding, pretty good. We'll look at adding a subwoofer to that maybe in another video. But that's all we have for now. So thanks for listening, and bye-bye.